What? Why'd you hit me?
Because it's live.
Oh.
Okay, here goes. Okay, so we should be live.
Hello. Hopefully people are
Live-ish.
seeing us. We'll see.
Yeah, there's
there's
some folks
Nora.
there.
Yeah. Yes.
Hubby said,
Yeah.
I pulled the plug.
Okay.
Cubby pulled the plug.
I admit it. I'm sorry.
Cubby said, I'm the one that called YouTube up about the doors.
Thanks,
Hey,
Cubby.
Hey,
I
Uncle.
like
Well, we
Wandy.
picked up Uncle
Not-
Spooky too.
Yeah,
huh?
we got Uncle
Doors.
Spooky, so it was all worth it. So it was totally worth it. That's good. Oh, look, everybody's back. See, this makes me feel good that everybody stuck with us. So thank you very
Yes.
much. Anyways, we're back, still talking about Waxwork and how much we enjoyed it. Yeah, Cubby said, "Fuck your show, fuck your show. They never should have gave you a show."
You're right, Cubby. I hate
He
to
was-
agree with you.
He was like one of those hijackers trying to infiltrate the stream.
Yeah, he was like Max Headroom when he broke into the signal.
Yeah.
He's like They Live. He's in the church on They Live, hacking into our signal. Cubby's like, "They live, you sleep, feed me." He's like, "That was for talking about me eating poop on the first segment.
Yeah.
You talked about that,"
Aw.
and it was like, "And Dad, fuck you, Dad."
I'm sorry, Cubby.
I'm sorry, Cubby.
We went too far.
I went way too far. I thought it was funny, but it wasn't funny at all. Yeah. Cub Shamer 2, the cubbiting.
Yeah.
That must have felt like
Cubby's
when
negative.
that must have felt like when Michael Landon's father hung up his pea-stained sheets in that TV movie.
Oh, yeah. I ran and I ran. Oh, man. Yeah, Cubby put on the glasses and saw everybody for who they are. I agree, Steve. Yeah, everybody was having problems with Facebook, but now we have Facebook fixed. Everything's working. We're all good. So
Yeah,
some people lost the
Facebook's
live
going
feed.
again, Pam.
Yeah, everything's working, but Cubby's going to break it again. He just ran down to another computer. So enjoy the show while you can. Cubby always does look like he's judging everyone because he is. I make Cubby say horrible things to me. Like, Cubby tells me all the time about how he hopes I die and that he and Becca can live off the money that I'm worth and stuff. This is my sense of humor.
There's that meme of that little girl making that face going like,
Yeah,
that's Cubby's
it's Cubby's
face.
face.
I've seen it a million times.
Side eye. Like, yeah.
Cubby, you're rude. I'll come right out and say it.
But we love him for it, though. Anyways, a lot of fun stuff in this. I really dig. I ever like the alien parts, as goofy as they look and silly as they look.
That's where Maxwell Caulfield was.
Yeah, I love
Up in
her. I love
space.
her hair in that scene too. Every scene she gets to get some cooler, different hair. And the alien one, she's got like a kind of punk rock do, which is pretty fun.
Well,
I know it was.
To have that Sigourney Weaver, like,
Yeah.
ooh.
It was kind of Linnea Quigley, Return of the Living Dead, sort of.
Yeah. That's
Joan
why I
Jett
dug it.
Shag.
Yeah. But I like that they had a space shuttle too. They're like, we don't got
It was
enough.
like an airplane attached to it.
Yeah. Like it's a space shuttle. That's fine. It is what it is. Maxwell Caulfield really like dug into his acting scenes in that. Like he was like, I'm gonna say fuck a lot in this sequence. And also, they didn't have any future weapons. They just had like modern machine guns. But whatever, who cares?
They don't have them on the 737.
On a 737, yeah. That was the space shuttle from Airplane 2 that William Shatner flew. That's what it was. But yeah, and Dan brought up the slapstick with the severed hand and the mustard bottle. I like that the soundtrack played "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during that sequence. Yeah,
I told you
She had a hot dog face.
yeah,
It
hot
has
dog face.
Halloween 5 vibes for the funny comedy instrumentals.
I will for the life of me, I will never figure out the cops' music in Halloween 5. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
It makes me happy.
It makes you happy, though?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not the worst thing that's happened with cops in the Halloween franchise. The Bond Me discussion
Yeah,
in
that's
the
way
recent
worse.
ones where they're like talking about sandwiches and where you get. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I literally looked at Becca in the theater and I was like, I hate this. Like, I hate this. But
Mhm.
nothing in this movie made me feel that. Does being shut down feel like we've made it, Bill? Dustin asks. Dustin, we knew we made it when, and I hate saying this because it's going to happen, when porn bots came on and said things in foreign languages. That's when Bill and I knew that. And whenever someone referred to the show as non-tent, that's when I knew that we had made it. Tim brought up that she had a Desert Eagle too. If she had fired that Desert Eagle, it would have blown her hand. Like her hand would have flown like the whole way back. She was like holding it like let me get my hand. She was like 2-finger holding it like that thing has a little bit of a kick. So
we know
but
we've
yeah.
made it because we got shut down and even more people came back when we started the second broadcast.
Well, they went
So
to
that's how I know.
another platform too.
Yeah. Yeah, people
I
like
love
people
seeing all those YouTube people on there though. That gives me hope. Because what I would
Yeah.
ultimately like is for everybody to be on YouTube and for it to be more of a YouTube thing, because the Facebook seems to exclude so many people.
Yeah.
I don't know why for like the first year we were on, we didn't stream to both platforms, and I don't even know why. I don't think I knew where that button was on the
Yeah.
Be Live thing.
I
So
was
I'm
gonna
glad
say
we-
looks like we made it, but I don't think anybody wants to hear me sing Barry Manilow. So but yeah.
I bet you're Manilow's boss.
I love Barry Manilow, yeah. That's all my parents listened to. They had that one record that has the shitty sculpture Barry on the cover. You know that one,
Oh.
and like that, it looks like he's melting.
Mm.
And yeah, they would play it. Weekend New England, like they would play that. Looks like we made it. Yeah, they would
Everybody
play
talks about Barry Manilow like he's a joke. I mean, like he's not a fucking joke. Manilow was like, the shit.
He was the big deal. Like
Mhm.
those albums would have like 10 10 singles on it. This is perhaps a segment 3 discussion about Barry Manilow. This is not a bug zapper. That's the microphone. We just moved it closer to us. But yeah, it also zaps bugs. We got it at Walmart. But yeah, Barry did write the songs that make the whole world sing. He wrote the songs of love and special things. He made
Wink,
music to
wink.
make the young girls cry. Is he God? That's what I always took from that song. That like this is God singing about writing the songs.
Oh, Candy Apple Blue says the key change at the end of Mandy still inspires me. God, I had the
Yeah.
7-inch for Mandy, and it
Oh
cracked.
wow.
It cracked all the way
Oh.
through to the middle, but I learned how to fix it. So remember, you could do it where it was just right, where it would almost be like there wasn't even a skip in it. Mandy, will you
Yeah.
kiss me and stop me from shaking? I
You
love that
came
song.
and you gave without taking, but I sent you away. Oh
And
man.
turns out he didn't even like Mandy.
He did. He was
No?
engaged to Robin Bird though,
Oh,
from New York Blue. Yeah.
he was married to
I-
his music.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was.
I got sort of
you
internet famous for a half a second. There was a Yahoo article about Wikipedia and about edit wars, and they mentioned my Wikipedia handle on there as being in this edit war that I got into over Barry Manilow.
really wait, what? Now you can't start there and not finish it.
Ryan
What was
Clark
the
was
edit
the
war
one who
about?
told me. He was like, "Look, you're famous," and he sent it to me, and it was circled, and I was like, "Oh my god, they mentioned me on there." Because
Oh,
it was over, like, I used to think I wanted to be involved in Wikipedia. Then I figured out you can't just write whatever shit you want on there, and I was like,
yeah.
fuck this. But there was like a Barry Manilow page, and everybody kept removing the segment. He had these fans that were like devoted to saying he was not gay. They were gonna like defend that to the death. The fact that Barry Manilow's sexual identity. I mean, first of all, I was like, who fucking cares? But
Yeah.
they just wanted to take off the part where he worked at the Continental Baths with Bette
Yeah.
Midler, which I think was a pretty important part of his career to say that, and it was, I guess it was too indicative of his supposed gay past, and these fans kept removing it, and it pissed me off. So I got Yahoo famous for a split second,
Oh
and then
my
it
gosh,
faded.
over Barry Manilow.
something I don't even really care about.
Man, he also wrote the American Bandstand song and the Nationwide song too. So that he's rich from that. He didn't even need music.
Yeah.
Is on your side.
Yeah, that's Barry Manilow. Yeah, he was a jingle writer for a long time. Yeah. So, the American Bandstand song, I don't want to think about it because it's an earworm and it'll get stuck in your head like you've never.
He's a
thought.
jingle writer like Al Jorgensen of Ministry. I want to pop, pop, pop. I want to Shasta.
Did he write that? Al Jorgensen?
No, I don't know that he wrote it. He recorded it.
Oh,
I
man.
sent it to you. But I don't think he wrote it.
That's amazing.
So anything else we want to say about Waxwork 2?
I'm glad that I see that most people liked it and you stuck with us through that. Like I said, I only try to bring you the best. So, but it makes my heart happy that other people got to see it. If
This
you
was
never did
important to
before.
you. I mean, this was one of your 2 movies that you picked
It is.
tonight. So
It is.
Why did you pick
So
the
this-
second movie? That's what I'm. Oh, go ahead, Bill.
well, earlier you said that you do like Waxwork better than this, though,
Yes.
right? Because you said you would keep that, and if someone, one of those weird
Yeah.
ultimatums that people ask you on the internet.
You can only have one. If I can only have one, it's going to be Halloween 2.
Thank
You
you.
can only keep one movie ever,
Ever would be Halloween 2.
and it's Night Killer. It's Halloween 2.
What's your favorite movie with the worst wig in the world?
Halloween 2.
Yeah. She looks so much older in that wig.
Yeah,
And it's
It's
supposed to
bad.
be the same night. You know?
The night he came back.
It's right here.
I know. It's the night he came home and the night he came back. The same night.
Yeah. Time
I
stands
remember.
still. Time stands still in Haddonfield until 2 seconds later. It's bright morning. Let's go.
Yeah.
I
It's
remember
the
I
morning
laughed
he
out
went away.
loud. The first time I saw her in that wig in Halloween 2, I laughed out loud. I was
We-
like, "Oh my god!"
She
looks
also
so-
looks thinner than she
Yeah.
did in the first one. And I'm like, what did
It
I
was
tell you the other
awesome.
night? I was watching, and was it Murder, She Wrote? I was watching, again, Murder, She Wrote. I can't think of his name, but the guy who played Dr. Mixter was in an episode. I was in one day I watched like 4 episodes, and there was a bunch of Halloween 2 people. And Leo Rossi actually played a cop in the one episode. So
Yeah.
a detective.
Wasn't Pamela Susan Shoop on there too?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
They should have just done a special episode without Halloween. There's a heart to heart with what's his name in it too.
Oh, and I told you, what's his name? Officer Garrett was in Halloween or Murder She Wrote too.
Heart to Heart has the paramedic is in. Remember we watched that one where it was like his
Lance Guest.
Lance Guest was on a Heart to Heart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Charles Cyphers was always on those shows too. He was on Wonder Woman a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's
In
the
the really
sweetest
cool
man
one
on
in, like,
this
in-
planet.
Where it was like in the that futuristic version of the 70s that the Wonder Woman season 3 took place in. Charles Cyphers was on there.
You know, Paul brings it up. Zach Galligan's wig in this was pretty bad too. He said, was he wearing Jamie Lee's wig in Waxwork too? Like he had a pretty rough wig too.
It was the wig, and they dyed it dark for
Yeah.
the medieval.
It's the
stuff.
same wig. They were going to have him wear the straw hat that's on the wall from Halloween 1. And he said, no, I refuse. We were going to buy
Lori's
you a
wall
straw hat for
decoration.
your wall for your birthday,
I
Bill.
know.
That was almost your gift. It was a straw hat.
She was funky. You know, she hung a straw hat on her wall. She had taste.
She was like
Laurie
boho.
Strode. Yeah. She was a little
Boho
Carly.
Beach. Even though
She was a little
it was Illinois, it was Pasadena boho.
she
The
was a
other
little
day, I don't
Carly
know why, Becca
Simon.
she was just sitting on the couch and she gave the whole fate speech from Halloween the other day, just sitting on the couch. And I said, God, I love my wife so much. She's wonderful. And she picked a good person.
She also didn't go outside as a child, so that's why she knows things like this.
Yeah.
That
You
has
watched
to
a
be
lot?
what it is because I also didn't go out as a child.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
We
why I
know
still
one
can't
another.
tan to this day. I have no
No, we
ability.
got our special SPF
Mhm.
500 roll-on stuff for this year.
It was so funny. I was talking with a friend's wife about makeup foundation and pale girls. We were laughing about the colors that we've bought before. They only put out colors for us that are called like nude and bone and porcelain.
No, I
Bone.
will say I was there for that at Target. She put on porcelain and she said, "This is too dark." Porcelain was like 3 shades too dark for my wife.
I'm like, wet frost. I don't know.
She's fair.
Yeah, and I laughed because the one I ended up buying this past week, it was just numbers. And I told her, I said, don't worry. I said, we're not weird names anymore. We're just numbers. So I'm an N2, I think it said.
Ooh.
But like all the darker shades and people with, better skin colors,
I
they
love
have
your
all
skin
these like
color.
really pretty names. Like, I don't know.
Ambrosia.
And I got white, clown white.
Clown whites.
Killer Clown.
And like I said, sometimes the clown white is too dark.
That's a Pasty by Maybelline.
Exactly.
Pasty would be too dark. It was another one that was too dark. Alabaster, too dark. And then we found it. We
Becca,
were
you're
in,
like vampire victim.
I
Yeah.
know. I have to buy like this one company makes this special bronzer for pale people. Because if not, if I use the normal one, it looks like someone hit me, slapped me. It looks like I'm in an abusive relationship if I put on makeup. Because they're just too dark. I don't understand.
that's why I love you.
Yeah. Oh.
I love your fair skin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this.
Yay.
Wow. Cover of TV Week in Charlotte.
Yep. This is a
Richard
big
Woodman.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a big Becca movie. This is one of her favorite movies.
My dad taped it off either television or did it ever show on HBO or any of
Oh, yeah, it
those?
was an HBO movie. Yeah.
It was it was an HBO movie.
So it wasn't like normal cable.
No, it
No.
debuted July 28th, 1995 on HBO.
1995. No.
Yeah. Oh, that's when it originally aired.
85.
85. Sorry, that was an error. Bad writer. Whose website? I'm going to send a sternly worded letter. I saw people writing letters to
The
my
V
own.
in BNS about movies is fine. The S, I don't know so much about.
Yeah. Once a week, I get an angry letter from somebody that
It's
says
probably me.
that says the site is bullshit and my reviews are bullshit, and it's always from a different name. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's always on
Your site's
Saturday mornings.
bullshit.
Always Saturday mornings. It's non-tent and it's bullshit.
It must be that cheeseburger guy that was messaging us.
Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger in hell, not paradise.
But yeah, so that makes sense because my dad would have taped it off HBO or Cinemax or whatever. So there's no commercials on the copy I had.
Yeah.
But when I first started watching it, we had the whole movie. And then one night, this was, when you had the VCRs and all that. My dad, we were watching it, and he went to hit eject, and instead he hit record, and the movie wasn't over yet. So from that point on, I would always forget. I put the movie in, watch it. We get all the way to 20 minutes from the end, and it flick to the screen. Remember when the channel used to be on that rotating thing, and it would tell you what was on TV?
Yeah.
That's the end of the movie.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
So
it
wait, so
wasn't
you didn't know
until-
who did it?
Well, I did because I had seen it before. It wasn't we had it for a couple years, and then my dad made that mistake, and the end of the movie, I would forget about it. I'd watch it, and I'd get there, and I'd be like, damn it, I forgot about
He
that.
taped basketball over a couple of the movies too, yeah.
He was that dad that also like taped basketball over our dance recitals and
Oh no.
would forget, Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we were I would watch it on the computer later on and stuff when I didn't have my VCR for a while. But we got it at
VHS PS.
VHS PS did a bootleg, a rip of it. So we have that on DVD.
Yeah, because this has never come out on DVD or Blu-ray, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. It was a big rental movie too because the cover is super striking of the like gimp mask looking villain on the cover.
I've often thought about getting that tattoo.
Yeah.
Who knows? They're still.
Yeah. This has a really good cast. I'm between Richard Widmark, and it's got Carradine in it, and it also has what's his name from the Warriors, uh,
Michael Beck.
Michael
Yeah.
Beck, and Kathleen
And
Quinlan.
Kathleen Quinlan. She
Yeah.
has so many good lines in this movie.
And there is the cover. I love the look of that artwork.
This part of the movie is only, I'd say, in 8 minutes of the movie
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, it's not really a large part of this.
That's why I love the cover, of course, but I always thought it was kind of a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get too attached to that. I mean, like,
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
And he reminds me of my grandpa so much. Like, no
Richard
bullshit.
Widmark.
Yeah, like, just, I'm telling you how it is in this movie. I love it.
Keith
And it's
Carradine.
got everything. 2 men fighting over a woman. It's got murder mystery. It's got angry old cops.
Well, I think all the guys in this movie are all trapped by something. They're all like trapped by the past. And then it's very it has a lot of giallo elements in it too. Kind of like the mistake, even one of the characters doesn't even really know who he is. He's not even sure for a big chunk of the movie, which is kind of cool.
When they were happy.
Yes.
Aww.
He's man of the year.
Yeah.
This is a very scary film for me.
Yeah.
The beginning, I mean, for those of you who've seen it, but like the beginning of the movie is very disturbing. And I remember, not many things bother me or much. And I don't want to give anything away, but you don't normally see something having to do with kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's always like an idea that something may have happened. And the only other one I can say that does that in the beginning too is the stepfather. Like when you see the family all torn to bits,
Yeah, it is sort of
like you don't
stepfather.
normally see that like on the screen.
And this was a real murder.
Well, no, after this movie, a guy had seen this
Yeah.
movie, and it was on an episode of Forensic Files. I forget the name. If you
Ed
look
Sherman's
on,
name.
if you look on Wikipedia, it's got the episode of Forensic Files. But he had watched this movie and told a coworker about it at work, and they remembered him saying he had seen this. And then that guy's wife mysteriously died. He went away for a fishing trip and he killed his wife, went to his fishing trip, turned up the air conditioning in the house so they wouldn't know when she died. And they couldn't like do a time of death because then he would have been on his fishing trip. And like they even mention the movie and show clips of the movie in the episode of Forensic Files that he based his idea how he was going to kill his wife on this movie.
Creepy. Think about that while you're watching this.
Yeah.
A man named Ed Sherman killed his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
She was like 8 months pregnant. And then when they were at the fishing cabin, one of the daughters of the guys he was with, the guy said he was going to call his wife to check on her because she was pregnant, but obviously she was already dead. And the little girl picked up the phone at the same time and heard that he was talking to no one but the dial tone. So between her testimony and his friends telling about this movie and that being the same situation, they attributed it to him seeing Blackout, where he got his idea. But this is a big house movie for me and furniture movie. Not the same era of furniture we're used to. The 80s furniture, I think, is fabulous in this. And the clothing. There's one outfit that Kathleen Quinlan wears, and I hope you'll be able to pick it out. It's during a scene at the beach, so I'll give you that clue. There's so much crochet, it's not even funny.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Did you see that?
This is like
the crochet shirt, the crochet wrap, the crochet hat.
Yeah, I mean this movie really does nail it from that whole era without even like being so over the top. There was everyone thinks of the 80s as like neon and ripped sweats and stuff like that, but
oh no, this is 80s to me. This is what I remember.
You were a year old when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
This is like
Did
what
you-
adults were doing in the 80s.
Yeah. It was gray and brown and a lot of macrame. That's what the 80s was.
I love like his real estate office, like the office furniture. It's very 80s. Like I just love it.
Far out, man.
Mm-hmm.
I
Has
was really-
anybody seen this before? Let us know in the chat if this is your first blackout experience. The movie, not drunkenness or anything like that. Your first blackout.
You can tell us about your blackouts too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here to listen and help.
We won't judge you.
No.
I don't really have any ads for this to show, and I was kind of bummed out about that because someone mentioned the HBO guide in the chat. This had a very
Yeah.
memorable. It was that zipper face
I
thing.
should have sent you the clip from Forensic Files.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's more of a. It literally has the whole spiel of him telling how like the bodies were found and stuff. They take a whole clip from the movie. So it was always really neat.
Chris said that he will not
yeah. The
share
opening
any-
of this is super creepy.
Yeah. It's a dark movie. It's super dark, but
Because you don't think it's gonna find what she finds. I don't know.
yeah. Ben says he has the promo kit for this.
Ooh.
The Media Home Entertainment sent out. So that's kind of cool. A company that was owned by that's Live that was owned by Menendez's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Chris said that there will be no Honey Bear blackout stories for me. Chris, we're about 2 weekends away, and there's a Honey Bear close, so be careful what you wish for. There's a Honey Bear right outside the drive-in. You could have one of these same stories. You could be
That is the Honey Bear where it happened.
Yeah, actually, it's the one further down is where it happened. I made it to the second one, and then I said, I better get some pepper packets.
Wow, I didn't know there were that many honey bears that close
There's
together
like
out there.
3 on the way, yeah. So,
Oh, you
yeah.
come a different way than I do, though. I'm
Yeah.
coming from like Lower Burl,
okay.
so I'm coming the other direction. But there is a honey bear that I drive past there. That's usually what I stop at
Yeah.
when I realize I'm not going to be able to make it to the drive-in before I have to pee.
Yeah.
So I go in there. There's not even like a public restroom. You have to ask them to use it.
Oh,
They're nice.
I just
I'll let
peed
you.
right in the store.
Of course you did.
Yeah, right in the cooler. That's where
This is turning into like your confessional. This
It is.
program, like the
Don't
things.
tell everybody everything.
No, I've never gone to the bathroom and inside the store of a Honey Bear.
He did.
I never did.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you guys like my Crazy Ralph shirt?
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
It says, "Doomed." You're
I love
all
Crazy Ralph.
I do
doomed.
too.
I was so upset when Crazy Ralph got killed. They should have kept him around.
Yeah, it was too soon. They could
Yeah,
have
way
milked
too
that
soon.
character for a little while.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this guy looks just like the weirdo that was climbing around inside the ceiling in my neighbor's house.
They
Oh,
could have been.
the Frogger.
Yeah. the
Yes.
fucker.
It's just like him. Go look it up. Man in neighbor's attic.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
Crazy Ralph
Well, I hope
climbing
with-
around.
The renovation they did on that place, they boarded that shit up.
yeah.
No, there was a hole in the basement. There was a hole in the basement because he tried to tunnel into my house. I know that's what it was. Like, I didn't know that at the time, but it was the middle of the night and I heard this loud bang and I went down there and I saw a hole had opened up in the floor in the cellar in between our two houses. And I looked under there, you could see like that there was junk from the other basement coming in. And I was like, oh my God, that's right into the neighbor's basement. It's like I took this heavy like headboard that someone had abandoned in the basement and I pushed it over there and just covered it up.
You take people down there. This keeps the monsters out.
It's
Yeah,
the
I'm sure
gate.
they'll want to come over. You got people under the stairs in Bill's house.
There was
Wow.
this bubbling shit like in Amityville 3D, and a demon came out of it.
Well, that was on an episode. I don't know if you ever saw those HBO specials, those Dr. Bod and the Forensic Examiners. He does all those cases. He had HBO documentaries. And one of the cases was in Oakland on the HBO show.
Yes.
And it was for that exact thing. That guy
Yeah.
burrowed through a wall and dissected that woman. And he had
Then he hung himself in the
in
paddy
the back
wagon.
of the paddy wagon because like they interviewed Cyril Wecht and all that stuff. Mhm.
Rumor has it that someone that is going to this drive-in Monsterama from out of state. I'm not going to say who, Mike Justice, but he's staying in the Mexican War Streets area. So
Ooh.
maybe there'll be
Ooh.
somebody in his attic down there too.
Ooh.
Meet
can
the
happen.
Froggers.
Yep. Now we don't scare him away. We've told him about frogging. We've told him
Yeah.
about the weather. He's
That 7-Eleven on Western Avenue is totally safe. Go there as late as possible.
Right.
It's only been on Cops a bunch of times. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
It's fine. Tell him, Cubby.
I can't wait to see what your blackout inspired drink is, Sam.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Did Alan Devlin make this drink?
He did.
Yeah.
This drink is called Crash Course in Plastic Surgery. It's for the movie Blackout. It has a lot of ingredients. Don't be
People are
scared.
excited for Blackout.
Are they?
People have said on the site I've seen that these are very good choices. Oh, I wonder where they came from.
Yeah. You can tell when I pick movies and they don't say that.
No.
They say, what did I just watch?
Mhm.
Anyway, this drink starts with raspberries. It also has 2 ounces of rum, 2 ounces of cranberry juice, an ounce of orange juice, half an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of simple syrup. But again, it starts with 4 raspberries. Let's throw a bunch of raspberries in the shaker. And we're going to muddle those.
Show us your raspberries. Ooh.
All right. Now let's pour the ingredients in.
Booze. Juicy juice. Syrup. And more juicy juice.
All right. Ice.
That's what I'm saying. Tight seal.
Are we ready to operate?
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's just take the lid off.
Yeah.
Let's just take the lid off.
That looks like a drink from Chili's.
It does. Feeling good in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. That's Applebee's.
Baby, Chili's is
Baby
back.
back ribs.
Baby, Chili's is back. Anyway, Crash Course in Plastic Surgery for Blackout, a movie that inspired a real life murder.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Or before.
Pazuzu, let's try it. Oh, this drink's good. Pazuzu, this is definitely wonderful.
Cheers, Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
I did taste that one and I approved. It was good.
I'm just drinking my rum and coke that you saw me pour on the air. So, this movie really, I'm so glad you picked it because I had never seen this one before and I sat down and watched it. I started making that trailer. By the way, I had to make that trailer myself. There was no trailer for Blackout.
You did a good
And
job.
it was really creepy. It had me from the moment I started watching that opening scene. It's just so. Oh, and I have to mention the version that I linked to. It's on the Groovy Doom Facebook page. The link. That's the one I'm going to watch. I recommend that you watch this link because it's missing like the opening credits that actually say Blackout. I don't know why, and it's also missing the end credits. And
Maybe
it's
my
kind of,
dad taped it.
He pressed record when he should have pressed stop,
That happens
and
a
that's what
lot.
happened. But even though it's missing the opening part of the opening credits and the end credits, I linked to this one anyway because the picture quality is so much better. I just couldn't send anybody to watch any of those shitty VHS rips that were. I don't know where this came from, but it's a little crisper than the other versions. You're gonna thank me for it in the long run. So you'll miss the opening credits. It's just a black screen that says Blackout, Keith
Got that
Carradine,
music
Richard
though.
Widmark.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
It's got the music. It opens like you know, you don't lose any action on the screen. It
Just-
opens when she's walking towards the house. It looks like a scene from Halloween.
I know. Do you think they threw those leaves around? They were in a bag. Is it? I didn't
I
even
was
look
thinking
where it
that.
was filmed. It kind of looks like Seattle. I don't know. I'll have to
Yeah,
look.
I don't know.
But
They captured the Halloween aura even better than Halloween did with it. They
they
actually
had a lot more leaves.
They had
'cause
2
then-
bags of leaves.
Because they had like 6 bags of
I had
leaves.
6 bags of leaves. Wow.
Because in one scene when he's kissing them goodbye, they're all standing in giant piles of
Oh.
leaves.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
Yeah,
of
I mean, I like it. I love this movie. You'll love the old man, Richard Widmark. He plays Joe Steiner. He's a cop that's supposed to retire but won't give up. And he's just so harsh. I don't even know the word. He reminds me of my grandpa.
Pamela, this movie is 1985 is the year that this came out. So it's got some 80s, real earned 80s vibes to it.
a made for HBO slasher epic, sort of. It's not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Well, is it a slasher? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got some slashers.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, psychological.
Yeah, that's better.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's fun though, and I'm glad that we own it because I wish that this. There's so many TV movies that are never going to come out on Blu-ray. It feels like, and it's like I wish this is one I wish would come out. I'd like to see a really cleaned up version of it and have people experience it. But this will be the closest we can get, so that's cool. We'll do it.
One of these days. And plus, you
Yeah.
know, when you watch it like this, you're experiencing it probably the way anyone who watched it the first time experienced it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of fuzzed out, sort of. If you didn't catch it when it was originally broadcast, you had to watch it on home video.
Yeah,
That VHS rip.
and if you rented it, it probably looked pretty beat up. Do you know what I mean? Because how many people's VCRs it was in.
It's been everywhere.
Yeah.
It's used and abused.
I am
So
excited.
I'm curious, Becca, when was the first time you saw this movie? Because this was like only like the year you were born, wasn't it?
I mean, I started watching this stuff around 5 or 6 as early as I can remember. So probably only 5 years later. 1990, 91. So
Did you rent it? Like, was it
no,
it
like I
something that
said, we
somebody?
had it. My dad had the copy of it.
Oh, that's right.
But like these, remember when you used to have the entertainment center and the drawers that pulled out for your movies? We'd have like Blackout, Follow That Bird, The Little Mermaid, Halloween, Pippi Longstocking, The Time Machine. Like it was a really good mix. That's why to this day, like I love Disney movies. I love horror movies. Love 80s comedy. Like that's what I had.
Mannequin too.
I'm not a fan of anything new. Really. Very rarely. Yeah.
Speaking of anything new, is anyone excited about the Maxine finally coming
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, I'm excited because it looks like a 1985 movie.
Like I'll like it, but I will never have the same reaction to these movies that I did back then. I don't know if it's just for seeing stuff for the first time when you're younger or what, but I don't know.
I'm excited about it.
I think
Yeah, there
because
isn't much.
every time someone takes Halloween, they crush my dreams, but that's, besides the point.
There isn't much today that makes me want to keep going back over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I liked X, I liked Pearl, I guess, But I can't imagine watching them again. I'm not really that into it, but I am excited about Maxine.
Mhm.
It was I think it was really cool how they made the first two films. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do now that they've been separated from that material for a while, and then they made Maxine. So where are they going to take this? That's kind of exciting.
But as cheesy and as expected as some of them are, like Blumhouse to me, like I don't even like them all. I think they have some really good visuals, and that's what
Yeah.
I like about them. I don't even necessarily like the stories. Some of them, like I think they're doing the best they can with what we have today and what people like. Because you have to, they're making these for the audience of today. They're not making them for all of us.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
I know.
because I consider myself an old person now who doesn't go to the movies anymore. Like,
I can think of a very few. You liked Sinister.
but those came out how many years ago
Yeah, I
now?
bet that's
Like
in the
nothing new.
past 2000, post 2000.
Yeah, there's very few though.
Yeah.
But I'm not, there
I'm
aren't that
not
many
opposed
times that
to
I,
seeing them. I don't,
yeah,
I don't hate them. I just nothing will ever be as good as the stuff we used to have.
once in a while something happens that I just don't understand, like Hereditary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why everybody likes that movie. I don't know.
I will tell
But
you that movie grew on me. The first time
did
I
it?
saw it, it upset me so bad. I was ready to walk out like 15 minutes in, and then every once in a while I'll put it on and like I'll watch it all the way through. That's it. That's okay.
She's watched it
but
like 15 times now,
I
Bill.
just
This is what happens is she'll dislike a movie
I
and then
think
she didn't like there's what Rob Zombie movie did you start liking? Where's the Salem?
Lord Salem.
Yeah, she likes that.
I think
Oh, I like that.
I think I don't necessarily like the movie Hereditary. I think I like that there's a story.
Okay. You like
Like-
Midsummer.
No,
I
not
thought you liked
really.
Midsummer.
No.
It just kind of like bums me out because I like Hereditary up until the point where the kid's head gets cut off in the car accident. And I'm like, that's like, it was like an ordinary people moment.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, this is gonna like, how is this gonna affect this family? And instead they're like, no, we want to tell you a ghost story.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't care about the
He
fucking
used to
ghost
glue
story
bird
anymore.
heads on. No.
This woman is like living in this, she's trying to hold this family together, and then one of her kids' heads got cut off in a car accident. I mean, this is like, that's the story, not this ghost bullshit, but they had to give you the ghost bullshit anyway.
I
So
think I just
whatever.
empathize with the dad so much because every time you turn around, his kids' heads are falling off. His wife's
Yes.
going nuts. He finds his dead mother-in-law in the attic, and then he gets set on fire. It's a great ending for him. So
Poor
I
guy.
just felt bad for him. I felt more bad for him than the little girl.
He must have been a bad person in another life.
I guess. I think Ari Aster's just the let's see what can shock you and what can push the envelope and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So in Midsummer, when those old people jump off the cliff, I said they're not going to jump off that cliff, are they? Of course they are. It's an Ari Aster movie. But now it's all his fault. I can't go into IKEA without thinking of Midsummer.
Pamela loved Hereditary. She has good taste, so
Mhm.
Hereditary must be good.
I like it. Like I said, I think I like the story more than the actual movie itself because the story could be something, it's something interesting. But the first time, like I said, when that girl's head gets cut off, that's about the point I wanted to walk out. I said, they can't do this already. Like, I don't know.
It's a movie about peanut allergies and bad brothers.
Exactly.
And then it becomes
Yeah.
a ghost story
Mhm.
partway through. And you're like, okay, I was here for the peanut allergies. But alas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, I really like The Witch too.
Yeah, I
And
like
I
The
know
Witch.
Sam and Becca like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I like that one a lot. The Vivitch,
Yeah.
or however you want to say it.
Did you like The Lighthouse?
We haven't watched that one yet. I think we're kind of like the witch.
Burned out
The
on it.
witch was so good. We're like, I
Yeah.
don't want to not like. His next
It's not going to be The Witch. Prepare
Yeah.
yourself.
It's weird.
I really
though,
did not
because
like the.
it's weird because usually I like directors' second movies that nobody likes more than their first movie. Like I like Under the Silver Lake more than It Follows.
I thought that was a horrible.
It's okay.
I want
I-
Nosferatu to be good. I really
Yeah.
want it to be good, but whatever. I'll go see it. I know I'll go see it.
Cool.
Black Phillip.
Black Phillip.
They'll get my money. Do you want to watch Blackout?
Yeah. Becca may not make it for the last segment. She's tired, so
Well,
Oh,
we'll see.
okay. Well, I hope you come back, Becca.
I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah.
But you're always on the show in some form. You're always
Usually
doing the drink
back
segment.
there under that picture.
She's usually
I
on,
know.
on the
And
couch
you
laying
can, I
yelling
mean, you
stuff.
can see me shift through the screen and whatever. I'm gonna go to and get a bunch of moo
Yeah.
so that at least when I like glide through, you'll have something to look at.
You'll do your best Mrs. Elrod cosplay.
Exactly. I gotta go get a pink robe now.
Well, that's what we're
Mhm.
doing.
I'm
tomorrow.
surprised you haven't done that. You could just dye one of your white ones pink.
I know. And I gotta get some
I-
rollers.
I have, now that we're live on the show, I have to, like, face to face, I have to thank you for the great job that you do with the drink segments, with
Yeah.
choreographing all that. That's amazing.
You don't miss taking the phone into the refrigerator and getting set on the counter and pulling stuff down, and
She actually pre-pours all that stuff too.
so it is actually measured correctly. So.
Yeah, she sets it all up.
The parts I miss are the part where the camera was always aimed at Sam's stomach and never at the
You
drink
couldn't-
that he was making and never at his face. It was always just like in this dead zone there. So I was
That's
like,
what they
yeah.
call my stomach, the dead zone.
I mean, I like it, but I'm not probably, everyone else wanted to see the drink, and Becca is doing a great job directing those segments. So thank you.
Well,
I
it
appreciate
needs to flow. There's not a lot of production that goes into it, but it needs to flow.
It doesn't look like it, but I know there is, because I do that stuff when I do my editing and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so
My wife
glad.
does a
Becca's
wonderful
doing it.
job. and
There's
she's
no
done-
edits. I'm like, you get one shot at this. You F it up. That's too bad.
We've done a couple edits.
It's A+. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And
And
being
thanks
on
for
the show.
programming this show tonight. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope everybody loves the second movie as much as I do too. And you're gonna get to see the end, so
Yeah.
not 1990s TV guide. The one that used to roll and have the little times across it, and it would just move through the channels. That one.
Yeah.
It
They
is a very
planned it.
creepy ending. I'm sorry you missed it for so many years.
Now, I mean, I know it by heart, but yeah, for a long time.
John Stryker said you should direct a sequel to Halloween 2. A direct sequel.
Halloween 2.5.
I agree.
The afternoon after the
There's going to be a
ambulance ride.
scene in it where they go to what's his name? What's the kid with the blonde Michael Myers?
Ben Tramer.
Then they go to Ben Tramer's house and they're like, "Hey, your son,
His funeral. His
he,
wake.
well, this doctor from a couple towns over came because one of his patients got out. Funny story, your son was drunk walking around with a mask that looked nothing like the killer, and he got hit by one of our cars, and his parents just go,
Yeah.
we pay taxes.
They're gonna
Yeah,
vote out Sheriff Brackett.
That could be your Halloween 2.5. Just
Yeah.
like explaining to all the people that they knew were dead. Their loved ones are dead, and it was all a big misunderstanding.
And how Haddonfield Hospital is 4 connected hallways and 1 set of stairs. And a
And it
boiler room. And 1
Yeah.
elevator.
They got to hire a whole bunch of new nurses now.
Like,
And
I
a
don't
baby
care how
ward.
small your town with like one baby. What happened to those babies?
There were like so many babies.
They're burned up. They're
That must
burned
be
up.
all that they do in Haddonfield is have babies, right?
I know. Like, you would think there'd have to be people there like 24/7. Oh no, just one lady.
She's the baby lady.
Mm-hmm.
And the one nurse is like 15 minutes late because she's screwing in the hot tub. It's like, a very loosey-goosey operation. Not professional at all.
When I had my one night in the hospital last year, I was laying there and I was like, I hope nothing happens because someone's fucking in a hot tub down the hall. Because like
Yep.
Monongahela was pretty much Haddonfield. So I was like, that's exactly what's happening. Like people were fooling around, jerking around. This is what's going on.
Jerking around. This is getting descriptive.
Yeah. Not jerking around, but you know.
All right, so the link is on Groovy Doom Facebook page. Trust me, you want to go get that link and watch that version of it because the rest of the rips on YouTube of Blackout are really shitty. And besides, you're going to end up watching the 1978 Blackout anyway. So, you know, just trust me. Go get that link from Groovy Doom and then watch the movie. Come back afterwards. We'll have lots more. Sam and I will be here. Becca, maybe. Maybe? Maybe? Okay. Well, maybe Becca will be back. We hope you will return.